Hey folks, Poster, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video. So, if the rumors are true, tonight Sygna Suit ELESA should be dropping the banner, right? It should be dropping alongside Red, and which, by the way, when the banners do drop, I will be doing some summons live. Probably, to be honest, probably gonna do Red summons first, and then we'll do Sygna Suit ELESA summons. I obviously want to get both, right? So, well, if I do have gems left after I summon for Red. But I'll be doing summons when they drop, and yep, tune into the stream because want to check that out. So, anyways, in this video we're gonna go over if we should summon on Sygna Suit ELESA's banner or not, and this is it's a nuanced thing, right? It's not actually, it's not an easy yes or no answer, because problem is we have 3 banners active at the same time, right? We have Red's banner, we got Steven's banner, and Sygna Suit ELESA's banner. So this does hinge on quite a few factors, right? Here's the thing. All 3 of these units, Steven Stone, Red, Sygna Suit ELESA, are fantastic. They're all crazy units, right? But there are, some things that do have to be clarified. Obviously, there are a few differences. Steven Stone and Red, both of those are Pokefair banners. ELESA is I think it's a Spotlight Scout. And more differences, right? Steven and Red, they're both Strikers. ELESA is a support, right? So, before we get into, decisions, let's go over the unit real quick. So, Sygna Suit ELESA, she has Rotom, right? And Rotom's electric type, weak to dark, support unit, 5-star, right? Has the #1 bulk in the game. Like, no one's... Actually, I was about to say no one's even close, but let me just make sure. Because maybe someone might be close. But, if you got, like, the #1... here's bulk. If you got, like, #1 special defense in the game and #1 defense in the game, okay, well, to fair superior is kind of close, but that doesn't matter. If you're higher by one point in bulk, then you draw aggro. That's it, right? So it will be one of the best tanks in the game, if not like the best tank in the game, right? So there's that, and for starters. And then its other stats are really mediocre. It's not a striker. You're not using it to do damage, right? You're here mainly to tank and use its support moves. So let's go into those moves. First of all, you got Thunder Shock. That's whatever, it's a move. If you ever need to hit someone, right, get Unity going or whatever, you should probably go with Thunder Shock, right? Then you got X Special Attack All, which is obviously great. And then you got this move, Breathtaking, which is her trainer move, and it's absolutely just bonkers. So, reduces the sync move countdown of an allied sync pair by 2. You're reducing their countdown by 2. It raises the accuracy and crit rate of the sync pair selected. Sharply raises accuracy and crit rate when the user's team has a sync buff. So, when this drops, it will be the first reliable accuracy buffer that is not, Eevee, that you don't have to rely on sync move, because Eevee, if you want to buff accuracy, you have to, sync move, use its sync move first, right? And the other buffer is Delibird. It's random, completely unreliable, and like the only other one is like Metacham, which you can only use it twice, sure hit twice, right? So this is the first that you could raise accuracy in, which is huge. Also the first to reduce sync move countdown as a support, right? And only so far, as we know, right? According to the rumors. And then you also buff crit on this move. So this is a monster support buff, right? It's probably like, might be the best support like buff in the game. Like, just straight up the best support buff in the game. Unfortunately, you can only use it once, right? If you could use it like more than once, then it's GG, right? You actually can use it more than once. I just remembered. Because Sygna Suit ELESA is coming out with a Synchrid, and the Synchrid can give you MP refresh on Breathtaking. So if you keep on getting MP refreshes on this thing, you're just giving more accuracy and crit and reducing, you know, whichever sync pair that you choose, their sync move countdown. Like, ugh, this is going to be absolutely disgusting, right? This is like this is meta changing. This just makes mega sync pairs so much more viable now, right? So, you know, all those, you know, huge like megas that are extremely strong in this game, right? But you know, some have issues beforehand, right? Like stuff like Houndoom before you mega, it's just borderline unusable. Might be a bit of an exaggeration, you know, stuff like Houndoom, Pidgeot, Beedrill, Mega Pinsir is fine before you mega, but you know, stuff like those, and yeah, Pidgeot's fine before you mega as well. But once you mega them, like they're all like absolute monsters. Blue, once you're at Mega Pidgeot, that thing does so much damage. Same with Mega Houndoom, right? Especially with Houndoom's Mega Houndoom's Synchrid potentially coming out as well. So like Garchomp, right? Metagross, like Metagross, Mega Metagross is top 2 like damage, like highest damage dealers in the game, physical, right? Like it's absolutely insane. So yeah, and also the upcoming Red, right? You know, if the rumors are true, Red drops at the same time with ELESA, right? This would be a huge, like, great support for Red, right? Just for the sync move countdown. Just for like any mega, this just changes the game for megas in this game, right? So there's that, and then you also got Thunder, which does a lot of damage, 70% accuracy. You're almost never going to use Thunder. Like, I wouldn't even bother learning the move, right? So moving on, you got your sync move, 250 power. It's your regular sync move. The sync move animation looks really cool though, so there's that. Passive skills: increase the user's evasiveness when the user is hit by an attack move. Evasiveness cannot be lowered, and yeah, you're already like the tankiest, literally the bulkiest unit in the game, right? Not counting, you know, any promotions, right? Just at natural, vanilla, right? And then you get like evasiveness every time you get hit. And the ELESA Synchrid has a lot of other stuff to do with evasiveness as well. Like, it's almost like this thing is almost unkillable. It's just so good, especially in single player. When you draw aggro every time, right? You're gonna get hit every time. You're barely gonna take any damage, and then you're just gonna keep raising your evasiveness every time you get hit, and then you'll just never die. Like, the only way to lose is maybe like just, you know, face AoE units, and then you know, they have to target everyone, and then just take your other units out, and like you just don't have enough damage to like ever take out your opponent. But like otherwise, I just don't see how the heck you could lose anything in a single player, right? So ELESA is absolutely just game breaking, right? This is a complete power creep for a support. However, few things. First of all, if you're like a huge Sygna ELESA fan like me, right? I like ELESA, right? She's one of my favorite you know, Pokemon characters. Obviously, go ahead and summon for ELESA. If you don't care for Red, don't care for Steven, go for ELESA. But if you do care for those two as well, this becomes a bit more complicated, right? So both, like Steven and Red, they're both Pokefairs, right? And Pokefairs, they are limited summons. If it is true that this is a Spotlight Scout, and, you know, assuming Sygna ELESA will return every time, in all the other banners, just becomes like a generic 5-star pull unit, you know, this would be a pretty easy skip in comparison to, you know, Steven and Red, right? Even though this is like Sygna ELESA is, I can't say enough good things about it, right? But if it doesn't return in the future for some reason, because like, I don't know why, but some people are worried it might not return in the future just because it's Sygna, which I guess there's precedent for that. But like last time the Sygna were summonable, like they were seasonal scouts, they weren't like Spotlight Scouts, so who knows. But if it doesn't return in the future, then it gets a bit more complicated. So in the scenario that it does return in the future, I would say probably skip for now, unless you have enough leftover gems after summoning for Red and Steven. because again, Red and Steven, they're both Pokefair, so they have higher rates for 5 stars, and then ELESA does have, you know, a slightly lower rates for 5 stars, right? And also they're all limited. And if you check the future sync pairs, right, the upcoming ones, you also have Sabrina and Alakazam coming. I'm not saying they're the same, right? I'm definitely not saying they're the same, but if you are looking for a support that gives accuracy as well, Sabrina is also like a monster support. So you have Dire Hit All, which is great, right? With also Sabrina comes with a sync pair, sync grid, which in that sync grid you could basically make Dire Hit All plus, which is just an absolute monster support move, right? That's why one of the biggest reasons why Phoebe is just one of the best supports, not one of the best, like pretty much the best support in the game right now, right? Before ELESA or Sabrina comes out, like crit is just so like insane in this game. And she also has Sixth Sense, which restores 40% of an ally's HP, drastically raises ally special attack +3 special attack, and raises ally accuracy. And you could use this twice, unlike you know, ELESA's, right? You could use this twice. It's also MP refreshable, right? So yeah, I guess, and this comes much later, according to the rumors, right? It should come around the 16th in March, so you'll have some time to save up gems before Sabrina drops, right? And you know, Sabrina's sync grid just makes her like an absolute monster as well on support. So if you are just looking for an accuracy support, if you don't really care about the sync move countdown thing, or you know, you don't value it as much, if you're fine without this one, I think it's safe to like skip Rotom and then just pick up Sabrina later, right? Because again, accuracy is very, very important. Accuracy is just, and it's the reason why like no other sync pairs really got an accuracy buff. Had you know, no other support sync pairs had accuracy buffs or reliable ones, right? Before this, is just because accuracy buff is just too strong, right? Imagine like just maxing out accuracy for Fraligator's Mega Kick. Fraligator hits hard as heck. It hits super, super hard, right? Imagine Mega Kick just never missing. Or, you know, Fire Blast from someone, or Blizzard, or, you know, Thunder, stuff like that, right? Hyper Beam from Dragonite. If Hyper Beam from Dragonite never misses, wow. And also you're getting, you know, +3 special attack as well, right? And you're recovering HP for Dragonite. So, like accuracy buff, like even if Sygna Suit ELESA didn't have the sync move countdown thing and only had, you know, accuracy and crit rate, that would be completely worth it as well. The Sygna Suit move countdown is just like icing on top. It's really big icing as well. So again, Sygna Suit ELESA really, really good, but she will come back in the future. So unless like you're like a diehard ELESA or Rotom fan, and you don't really care too much about Red or Steven, then I would, you know, you could summon on this one. Because do keep in mind, the upsides of summoning on this banner, well, Red and Steven are still up, is that you do get the benefit of having the 2% chance for getting Sygna Suit and ELESA in comparison to when it's in the general pool. It should be like lower than 0.3% chance to pull a specific unit in a general pool at 7%, right? It's at 10%. You know, if we're talking about 10% Pokefair rates, then it should be at, you know, around 0.5%, slightly lower than 0.5%, right? Assuming, you know, it gets added to like the next Pokefair banner or whatever, right? So yeah, much higher rates on her own banner. That is the risk you would take, right? But I would still suggest maybe pull on Red's banner, because Red and Steven's banner. I probably pull on Red's banner first and then Steven. I did a whole video earlier today going over, you know, if you should pull Red, and that goes a bit more into detail why you should probably pull Red first. But like, Red's an absolute monster. Red just is wow. Right? It's a really good striker. Again, it's limited, so there's the reason to pull Red. If Sygna Suit ELESA doesn't come back in the future, then maybe, you know, after you pull at least one copy of Red and one copy of Steven, then you try and get a copy of... Actually, if Rotom's limited, ugh, I don't know. definitely should get red first, but Rotom's just really, really good. I don't know which one I would value more. Like, Steven is good, right? Probably, you know, top 5 strikers in the game, right? But there really isn't like any steel type events, right, at the moment, right? Well, I mean, Battleville's not out yet. If Battleville comes out and then you need steel types, then obviously Steven raises much more in value. So you could probably wait for Steven to come back and then get Rotom first. But then again, Steven is a Pokefair banner, right? Higher rates. So that's a bit of a tough one, but I'd definitely go for red first. If you at least get one red dupes aren't that important. Like, they're really, really good, but they're not as important, because red also has a sync grid, right? Steven, red, Rotom, they all have sync grids, but we'll see. So anyways, I guess that's it for this one. That's the bulk of this one. Again, the decision is yours. I'm just giving suggestions, right? And as usual, if you're a huge ELESA Rotom fan, just go pull for ELESA if you don't care for red. So anyways, again, I will be streaming summons as soon as they drop, right? Which I would assume is tonight. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Like and enjoy this video. Subscribe to my channel for some more Pokemon Masters content, and also the stream later tonight, which will be crazy. There's a lot of stuff happening tonight. I'll see you guys in the next one.